The roar of American muscle isn't dead, it's been electrified. In 2025, two icons have squared off in what might be the most important automotive clash of the decade: the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT versus the Dodge Charger Daytona EV. One's the pioneer of Ford's electric future, the other's the resurrection of a legend reborn in volts instead of gasoline. And make no mistake, this isn't just a drag race, it's a full-scale war for the future of performance, patriotism. Let's start where this rivalry was born. In history, back in the 1960s, Mustang and Charger defined the golden age of American muscle. The Mustang was the cool rebel. The Charger was the brute that bullied its way through NASCAR and Hollywood. Fast forward 60 years, and the battlefield has shifted from carburetors to kilowatts. The world has gone electric, but the question remains, can true muscle survive without the growl of gasoline? Ford and Dodge are betting billions that it can, and that their brand will define what American speed looks and sounds like in the EV era. The 2025 Mustang Mach-E GT isn't new to the scene, but this refreshed version has sharpened its teeth. Ford listened to early critics who said the first Mach-E GT lacked the raw spirit of a Mustang. The latest GT Performance Edition now churns out 480 horsepower and 700 lp-ft of torque, launching from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, faster than the old V8 Shelby GT350. Its dual-motor setup delivers instant all-wheel traction, while a recalibrated MagnaRide suspension keeps it glued to the road. Range? Around 270 miles on a full charge. Respectable for a performance EV, especially one that weighs north of 5,000 pounds. But it's not just the numbers. Ford has infused this car with attitude. The front end screams Mustang. Long hood, tri-bar headlights, that unmistakable pony badge. Step inside and the digital cockpit feels futuristic but still driver-focused. The 15.5-inch vertical touchscreen runs Ford's latest Sync Move OS, faster, cleaner, and finally lag-free. A new Unleash drive mode simulates aggressive throttle mapping and artificial exhaust notes tuned by engineers using recordings of old Mustang GTs. It's electric nostalgia, a bridge between heritage and progress. Across the battlefield, Dodge has entered the ring with something wild: the 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona EV, a car so bold it might just rewrite what muscle means. When Dodge first unveiled it at the Detroit Auto Show, purists gasped and EV enthusiasts grinned. Why? Because it doesn't whisper, it roars. Dodge engineered what they call the Fratzonic chambered exhaust, an 126 decibel artificial sound system that physically pushes air through pipes to mimic an engine roar. And yes, it's loud enough to make pedestrians turn their heads. Under the hood, or rather under the floor, lies Dodge's Banshee 800-volt powertrain. It's a dual-motor setup rumored to deliver over 630 horsepower in the base Scat Pack configuration and up to 885 horsepower in the top SRT Banshee model with the direct connection power-up kit. Dodge hasn't released 0-60 times officially, but insiders at Hennessy Performance have clocked test mules doing 2.9 seconds flat. That's supercar territory. Range estimates hover around 300 miles, depending on how much fun you have with that throttle. But it's the feel that makes the Daytona so polarizing. The eRupt transmission, a simulated multi-speed gearbox with physical gear shifts, gives the car a rhythm most EVs lack. Each shift jolts the driver, delivering that old-school surge of torque you'd expect from a gas-powered Hemi. It's a mechanical illusion, and it works. Dodge CEO Tim Kuniskis called it the world's first emotional EV. He wasn't exaggerating. Visually, the Daytona EV channels pure aggression. Its wide stance, illuminated Fratzonic badge, and retro-inspired lines scream 70s Charger with a sci-fi twist. The signature R-wing nose, which channels air through a front tunnel for downforce, isn't just design flair, it's aerodynamics, borrowed from Formula E. Inside, the cockpit feels like a fighter jet. Alcantara, carbon fiber, ambient red lighting, and a driver display that glows ready to strike every time you power up. So, how do these two compare when you hit the road? The Mach-E GT feels balanced, refined, a car built by engineers who understand daily driving. Its steering is sharp but predictable, regenerative braking is seamless, and the torque vectoring keeps corners tight. It's composed chaos, quick but manageable. The Charger Daytona, meanwhile, is chaos itself. It wants to scare you, press the accelerator, and it doesn't just move, it lunges, like a muscle car possessed. The fake exhaust roars, the eRupt shifts slap your spine, and the rear tires fight for traction, even with electronic aids on. The experience is so physical that most testers describe it as driving a memory. However, nostalgia has a price, and efficiency isn't Dodge's strong suit. The Daytona consumes energy at a brutal rate when driven hard. Meanwhile, the Mach-E's thermal management and regenerative systems are more sophisticated, making it friendlier for long hauls. Ford also wins on charging infrastructure. The Blue Oval network now integrates Tesla superchargers, giving Mach-E owners access to over 15,000 stations across North America. Dodge? It's compatible with most CCS chargers, but the network isn't nearly as vast. When it comes to tech, Ford plays the safer card. You get hands-free Blue Cruise 2 adaptive cruise, lane centering, and OTA updates that actually work. Dodge takes a different route. It's raw, mechanical, less digital nanny, more pure adrenaline. The Daytona doesn't babysit you, it dares you. But here's where things get philosophical. The Mach-E GT represents evolution, a bridge between the past and the future. It's for drivers who want to feel the Mustang heritage while embracing electric progress. The Daytona EV, though, is rebellion reborn. It's Dodge saying, "We'll go electric, but on our own," noisy, unapologetic terms. It's not trying to convert you, it's trying to shock you. Price-wise, the Mach-E GT starts around $64,000, while the Charger Daytona Scat Pack will likely begin at $70,000, with SRT Banshee trims pushing past $90,000 once optional power kits are added. But buyers here aren't comparing spreadsheets, they're chasing emotion. The question isn't just which is faster, it's which one feels like muscle. What's certain is that this isn't just about cars. It's about identity. The Mustang and Charger have always stood for something deeper: rebellion, freedom, and raw individuality. Now, in the EV era, they're fighting to carry those same values into a world obsessed with silence and efficiency. Ford wants to prove that performance can be clean. Dodge wants to prove that clean doesn't have to be boring. And as the sun sets on the age of gasoline, you can feel a new kind of thunder rolling in, powered not by fuel, but by volts, vision, and rivalry. The Mach-E GT and Charger Daytona EV aren't just electric cars, they're statements. One whispers, "The future is here." The other screams, "The past isn't going anywhere." In this electric muscle showdown, there's no loser, only a changing definition of power. If you love high-octane showdowns like this, hit subscribe for more deep-dive breakdowns of the cars redefining speed, tech, and American identity. From EV battles to secret prototypes, we're covering every revolution under the hood. Because the future of performance isn't silent, it's just getting louder in new ways.